As promised, here is your drink.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you wanted extra sugar.
I can't drink too much sugar nowadays.
I think the first question I want to ask today is, why do you like your coffee this way?
why I like my coffee this way. So, I'm getting old. I'm diabetic.
Oh, no.
I love coffee since young, so I've been drinking. Let me check it out. The color. The color is good. Thanks for the coffee.
I don't like doing these kind of introductions, but yes, welcome to LEC Podcast Episode 3. How about you introduce yourself to the camera? And this is our guest today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. I'm Yit Chuan here from MParks. So I'm a landscape designer with the design team in MParks. Masters in Landscape Architecture from NUS. Currently, I'm doing a bit of part-time teaching in NUS on planting, design, and horticulture. I'm with the landscape industry for about 20 years.
All right, perfect. What first drew you into landscape design as well as horticulture and plants? Was there a specific moment or an experience maybe?
I have grown up in kind of a kampong-like kind of environment as much younger, before primary 6. So there were interesting, random, sporadic gardens, much like the kind of spontaneity kind of gardens that you're looking at behind. Back then, there wasn't any of these gaming devices or anything. So then the natural playground was the landscape. Right, so we catch spiders, insects, scorpions, centipedes, whatever we can find in the gardens, and yeah, that's one affinity, I guess, that got started with landscape.
What project and research today are you most proud of, and why?
I worked on bidadari for the longest time in MParks, where I first entered MParks. And that has been a good 12 to 13 years, right? From very initial beginning, where it's conceptualized, planning stage. Finally get to see it completed last year. Generally, the feedback on Bidadari was great. What else? Any other projects that I'm particularly fond of? I work on some species recovery kind of projects in Ubin. There were things like having mounds for bee-eater nests, having special build-up tower for the bats. So these are very interesting conservation projects.
Is there a plant or landscape that changed how you think about what you do, how you work?
Yeah, I might change that question a bit. If I'm a plant, and what would I be? And I'll love to be that coconut tree.
You want to grow coconuts?
No, I mean, I want to be as useful as a coconut tree, where all parts of the coconut tree are useful. You can eat, drink,
Right.
the nuts,
Right.
and
The bark is useful.
yeah, the bark, the husks, all these are useful. To me, generally, plants are good system engineers, or they are kind of engineers that sustain themselves given the right conditions. We take examples of like China's greening of the deserts is fantastic. And those takes multitude years of efforts and large scale kind of planting, and how they are regreening or greening the deserts. That's the amazing thing, that plants have evolved and we can use them appropriately.
You think China should add some coconut trees to the deserts?
That I'm not too sure. Maybe to the coastal areas, yes.
What's the number one advice that you would give, having worked in the industry for so long? So this isn't just career-wise or academic-wise. It could even be life-wise. Anything. Just
Advice.
the absolute number one advice that you would give in your experience working on all these different projects and the teaching and, being here, I guess?
I think there's more than one point, but if I find the very first important point that I wasn't taught earlier is to find your mentor, right? So find a good mentor that can guide you and keep in touch with your mentor. I'll say I had some kind of mentors when I progressed through my landscape years. And some of these are my friends even who are experts in the field. So I'll do consider them as mentors, as friends. My advice to my daughter nowadays is, she's in secondary school, is find your interests, find a mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been told by many other profs that connections are the most important when you're...
All right. If you're pushing forward that notion, how you want to succeed in life, yes, that could be having a chance connection. If you're lucky enough, plus your hard work, that will ultimately
Absolutely.
give you the return.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You're talking a lot about connections. Speaking of connections, on that note, what do you enjoy the most about, teaching students, like bonding, with students, planting and horticulture, especially?
I do enjoy the years of teaching here. So starting in 2021 here, this is my 5th year teaching. So I guess the important part is to introduce to the students snapshots of like various aspects that I learned about the landscape industry. So not just on design. So there's the horticulture bit. So I'm a certified horticulturist. I'm also a certified arborist. So all these certs are necessary for me, like, look at this as an integrated whole. So I'm imparting that quite quickly in this module, okay? So it's kind of like for that planting module, I tried to squeeze in a bit of this so that there's some interest. Hopefully that creates sparks and give the students the kind of necessary interest in some of these various fields that are in the landscape industry. Even to create memorable moments of play with landscape flowers. We just had our sidewalk last week.
Right.
We played with some of the flowers, but this one censored. No. Yeah. So some of this memorable play with flowers is like returning ourselves as kind of kids and put through ourselves through that learning process.
Returning to the most pure state, maybe. Just pure fascination.
Fascination, I would say. Yes.
Exactly. I agree. Right. What is something you feel that students misunderstand about the field or planting and or landscape architecture?
Yeah. I think there's a few aspects which I'll look at. First thing about soil, right? So I've seen presentation that they put soil as non-living things, or it's a physical material, right? So, but that's not true. So maybe the subsoils are lack or devoid of living organisms, but soil, the topsoil itself, as we can see some of this, some topsoil here, I presume, yeah. So we can see that it's a living material. As much as we are seeing the trees and the plants above ground, it's important to know what is below the ground. Yeah? So to understand your soil as a living organism and how to sustain that. There's 2 other points I want to talk of. As a kid, as even JC through university, we talk about plants as important to produce oxygen, right? So the current state of affairs about climate change, all the oxygen we're breathing in produced by plants, actually not just plants, it has been accumulated through Earth for about 3 over million years, right? So actually what are important are the cyanobacteria, or the things in the ocean that's producing the oxygen for the past 3 over million years. Why we're planting is actually to remove the CO2 and to remove the greenhouse gases. And I think the last bit is that you often buy plants as individual pots and look at plants or trees as individual elements, but science research has shown that plants interact through the ground. So there are something that's happening as resources beneath the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking mental notes to use in my studio project. Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't occur to most people to look what's underneath the surface, I suppose. Let's talk some funny questions now that we've gotten most of the serious ones out of the way.
Funny questions.
Take a sip and relax even more.
Okay.
What's a country or city that you would want to move to, assuming that you're not living in Singapore?
That came to my mind recently when I was doing some background research about, I'll say, in a very bad way, looking at climatic changes, apocalypse kind of conditions, and looking at what is a good space or what is a good country to live in. So what's essential is that, we need water, we need food and energy. So, but if I was to choose one country that I want to live in, there's a few actually, like maybe Sweden, even New Zealand. My friend has moved to New Zealand. I've seen their landscapes. It's beautiful. So yeah, I think where there's wide, beautiful landscape, I would love to be in some of these spaces.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm from Vancouver, as I've told you before. Singapore is beautiful with its planting, but I think I do miss the mountainous areas of New Zealand and Vancouver.
Right.
There's a lot more elevation change that I really appreciate.
Right.
What are some other things that you're working on out of in US? And if that's not applicable, like if you weren't a professor and also working on the project that you were talking about before, what would you feel like you'd be doing?
I kind of inspired to read more about cluster. I was interested in the formation of Earth, how 4.5 billion years ago or even longer, have some of these protoplanets come about, right? So how did actually water get onto Earth? Because that's how life evolved from water.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So I was interested to read up that as part of the larger understanding of how life has evolved, stemming from that apocalypse thing. There was that mass extinctions on Earth. But all this were, we talk about the great dying, how things have survived and evolved, how mammal come into dominance, or actually we are the kind of survivors from the last mass extinction.
I mean, I feel like you like looking at the bigger picture of millions of years of evolution, all the space and cosmos thing.
That's right. As I grow older, maybe my mobility will get less. So I would probably like to work with paleontology if there's a chance permit. I would love to examine fossils or fit some of these puzzles that has been
Absolutely
intriguing us about life history, life history on Earth.
perfect. All right, I am afraid we're running out of time, but don't worry, we have something very fun for them. All right, we're doing quick fire questions right now. You have to answer them in very simple words. You have 3 seconds, and if you don't want to answer it, you can say pass.
Oh,
Are you ready?
oh no.
All right, we're beginning. 3, 2, 1. What's your favorite plant?
This one is, oh my god, I don't have a coconut trees.
Okay, what's your least favorite plant?
Least favorite plant, something with thorns, cactus maybe.
All right, what's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal, that's favorite animal. Oh my god, what's my favorite animal?
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What's the funniest common nickname you've heard for a plant?
Common, funniest, fun but
Who's your favorite student? No, I'm kidding.
Newt.
Based on some speculative rumors, is it true that you hug trees in your spare?
Oh yeah, give me a hug.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Final question. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? That's a question asked by the previous prof.
10 years from now, I can't see that far. In 2 to 5 years, I've been aging. I'm nearing 50. So I would like to look at my personal health first to actually get back myself into reasonable health and to hopefully travel a lot more to look at the world rather than videos that we're seeing, to experience the physical world.
Time to travel.
Kids have grown. There's time for me to travel, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed, and the budget also. Other than that, of course, being as a trained landscape architect, I would like to contribute to whatever projects that's happening now. There's a lot for landscape architects to do. So I'd like to contribute to that. If you're ever involved in a large-scale project and need some discussion or just chit-chat,
All right.
do that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
As a wrap-up, do you have a question for the next prof? that we're interviewing, or any individual,
Tutor,
or individual, maybe TA?
and I'll say, which is a country that you love best in the world?
Yes,
You have traveled and you love to live in that country.
took a page out of my book, I see.
Ah,
All right.
yes.
Thank you so much for coming today. All right. I'll see y'all next episode.
Bye.
Bye.